Obviously, Frozen is a big deal because I have two daughters who, they were 6 and 7 when the first one came out. So our house turned into a Frozen, sanctuary. And it's your fault that those songs are forever stuck in my head.
I take full responsibility.
We have videos, full-on videos of the entire Frozen movie of them doing it. I mean, it's crazy.
That's called pirating, and I'm going to report
it is.
you. I also have two daughters, so I experienced it, and it's amazing to see how it affects sisters, right? How sisters perceive that movie, and it speaks to them in a way that I think is so uniquely different than
Well, and I have a
else.
redhead as one of them. So the only difference between you and I in our experiences of that is I was not one of the main characters in the movie.
Yet.
Well, I tried to sell that for a while.
Well, who did you claim to be?
Olaf.
Let's hear your Olaf. I want to hear it.
In summer!
Okay, that just sounds like an angry rabbi.
No, I thought that was pretty good.
Just really doesn't like
Give
weather
me your
changes.
best in summer.
In summer.
All right, fine.
But
that's why they didn't believe it either. No, but let me ask you a question.
Anything.
Why do you think your voice translates so well to an animated character? Because I do think, even talking to you now, that there's a certain joy and an innocence. And I wondered if you ever thought about that. Like, is it acting? Is it a combination of...
It's so funny because throughout college, and I went to conservatory and just growing up, I've always hated my voice. I feel like my voice is so high. Anytime someone does an impersonation of me, it sounds like they're doing Kermit the Frog on helium. And I'm like, God, that's how people hear me. And so I'm the worst person to ask about why my voice is effective, because I want to trade it in for Ian McKellen's voice. If I could walk around and talk like this all the time, I feel like people would look at me differently. They would respect me. They'd honor me.
And yet
I got this.
Right.
But what I think works so nicely for Olaf is because of my register and because of the way my pitch kind of sits in that very strange spot. It does add to that sense of wonderment, right? That sense of naivete that Olaf needs, that imbues that character on the page and then on the screen. And when we started playing around, the very first scene that we ever played with was that introduction to Olaf in the first movie. And that entire scene, as it was recorded on that first day, is what you see in the movie. And it was very interesting because that was supposed to be like a test ground. That was
right.
And it was sort of like this thing where it started kind of in my register, and then we went higher, and then we went, lower, and then it sort of found that sweet spot, like right here. And it had this sense of like, oh my goodness, like the world is so big and the world is, and then once we hit into that, and it was, I think that key word was childlike wonderment.
Yeah.
And it was just one of those things, it's like, that's what it wants to be.
Hey folks, thanks for watching. If you like what you just saw, then why not subscribe? Click right here for lots more off camera. And if you want to see the hour-long version of these conversations, I'm going to give you the secret link. Here it is, offcamera.com. Check it out.